You're watching Sunday Morning Matters on KC24, your local election headquarters.
Let's just look at the face of cannabis right now, you know. Who is sitting here in front of us? And I think that that's an issue that this body has to wrestle with.
And that is Fresno City Council member Esmeralda Soria questioning the process of cannabis applicants who were initially approved by the city manager, Thomas Escueda, referring that most of the licenses were not awarded to the people of color. And her fiance, Terrence Frazier, is an applicant for a dispensary in District 3 and is still in the running. So with all that being said, I want to have our panel return. Michael Germanuel Jr., Andrew Jan. So real quick, Michael, I want to start with you here. What do you make of the council member's statement there about the process? Is she right about it? Is it fair? Is it equitable? Or should she recuse herself from making any of these decisions about cannabis because her fiance, Terrence Frazier, is still in the running for a dispensary in District 3?
I'm not an expert on the process. I was surprised to see that skin color became an issue for objection to a location. I think people have spent a lot of time and money putting together applications, and then to have that come out, it's kind of a curveball. And I do think she should recuse herself. She's got a conflict, even if she's not voting on an application made by the person she has a conflict about. Her actions are a set of dominoes that when they fall could potentially benefit somebody that she's very close to. So yes, she should conflict out, and I think the process, it's not fair for it to be such a moving target for the people that are making the applications.
Yeah, your thoughts on that?
You know, I don't think that Councilwoman Sorga is doing anything unethical or anything illegal or anything like that. I think that it's proper for her to recuse herself if there's a specific vote that relates to Terrence Frazier. I think that that's appropriate.
But now that's not her district, so is she allowed to?
Well, she's
talk
a,
about?
she's
Okay.
a council member like everybody else,
right?
And so I think that she has the right to speak out on this issue. It's a very important issue. When I was campaigning for mayor, there were extensive conversations throughout the community about making sure that if we do this, we do it right and we do it in a way that's very inclusive to others.
But have they done it right? And listen, you know, the mayor, he's been kind of silent on this over the last couple of weeks as we see the applicants coming forward now in the process. He does support the cannabis industry coming in because of the revenue, but should he be more out front knowing there's now litigation in front of the city of Fresno? Your thoughts?
I think the mayor realizes the potential for revenue. If you look at some other cities and towns throughout California, they're raking in millions of dollars in tax revenue. We need that money. And I think that it's also a way to go after cartels and gangs that use marijuana as a way to fund their operations. So I think that there's a dual benefit to it, and I think that Jerry realizes it. But, you know, he's a consensus builder. He's going to work with everybody in the community to make sure that we end up in the right place, and I think that he's done well in terms of doing that with respect to this.
Your thoughts?
I mean, I think he's going to have to say something, especially if a few of these applicants decide to litigate based on the decisions that are made. I also think the city manager understood all the discussions leading up to the approval process. I mean, so the fact that those moved forward and that he approved them and he understood the issues prior to that, I'm a little surprised to see so many problems with a couple of these.
Well, a lot to be had with cannabis as we move forward with that. I want to get to this other topic. Fresno Teachers Association filing 3 grievances against Fresno Unified this week, claiming students have been negatively impacted as teachers have no time to prepare lesson plans, grade papers, and they're having to sub out other teachers' classes once they're gone. So Fresno Unified responding with a statement that included stats on learning loss during the pandemic, and also this part of the statement, quote, "The district is trying to determine a solution that does not reduce instructional minutes for students, disrupt schedules for families, and does not shift any additional burden to site leaders and or classified staff." So, Michael, I'll come to you. Is this the proper response by the school district, or did they miss here?
No, the teachers have a great case. There are 3 groups that are key to making all this work: the trustees, the executive leadership, and the Teachers Association. Throughout this entire pandemic, it has been the Teachers Association that has actually led on this. They're very frustrated. They're dealing with trustees that are not competent, that don't understand strategic and operational decisions that have to be made for the benefit of the kids. And the executive leadership has been overwhelmed by this, and they're drowning. So I think the teachers have an excellent point that they're making here, an excellent case, and should be pressing this.
Can
to
I
keep the
play?
pressure
Can
up.
I play devil's advocate?
Sure.
I'm not on either side, obviously, but I'm going to play devil's advocate, and you chime in here, Andrew. Everybody's saying teachers, oh, they're just griping too much. They got their stimulus. You know, they're being paid for their services. Your thoughts on that? If that's what the district is saying.
I'm currently in jury trial, and I spent the last 7 days trying to pick a jury, and there were at least a dozen teachers on my potential jury panel. They all voiced their frustration about the lack of support that they're getting, and their focus, you know, is not about their pocketbooks or that sort of thing. It's about the students. It's about the kids that are really suffering here, and so I think that they have a great point. And the other thing that I want to add is that the board, I mean, they've been engaged in all these shenanigans with one member of the board. You know, we need to refocus our attention. I don't blame the other board members. I blame that one board member for making this a circus.
The trustees don't know what to do. They don't, see, this is what happens. When you have trustee elections, they're buried way down on the ballot. There's a million things above them. We make bad choices for trustee. These people are in charge of a billion-dollar corporation. They have to evaluate the executive leadership, make sure that things are working correctly, not run the district, but really give solid advice. And they're failing, and the executive leadership is failing. The teachers are saying we've had enough. I think they're right.
Yeah. What comes of it, though?
This is a hard time for employers everywhere.
It is,
We're you know, the county, we're bleeding people left and right. And so what you want to do is make sure that we have an attractive place where people want to come and work, a place that's safe.
Quick word.
Short term, I don't think anything changes until the teachers continue to apply the pressure. But my outlook on the prospects of Fresno Unified is I'm very troubled by what I see.
All right, Michael DeManuel Jr., Andrew Jans, thanks for coming in studio. Appreciate it.